The CEO of Northwest Housing Corporation will make a brief presentation, and after that we will invite questions from media houses and members of the communities if they are here. Without any waste of time, I will request the CEO, Mr. Sello Mogodiri, to come over and make the presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Program Director, Mr. Nteu, members of the community media and the management of the Housing Corp, and the communities at large. We are the entity of the Northwest government established in terms of the Act of 1982 to roll out infrastructure and further the provision of shelter and accommodation for the low-income communities. As part of our mandate, we are expected to render financial and physical intervention to the province on both the urban and rural areas. The province of the Northwest has, over a long period of time, been caught in a lack of mega projects that can drive the economy of the province to heights never seen before, whilst at the same time creating an environment for massive investment in local economies and creating jobs. The pronouncement and confirmation made by both the state president, President Ramaphosa, during SONA, and the Premier during the State of the Province address to the introduction and implementation of the mixed development human settlements programs lays a subsequent human settlement programs that we also have to engage in, and subsequently the gazetting of the Minister for such developments. Since the appointment of the board and the new CEO, the Northwest Housing Corp has embarked on a well-thought program to reclaim its core mandate through the development of mining towns, smart cities, and special development economic zones. We are repositioning this historic organization as a major player in the contribution towards transformation of our province and rebuilding the economy. This initiative will switch the provincial housing machinery into a higher gear, thereby facilitating developmental projects that will stimulate economic growth and create jobs for the people of the province. We are today unveiling these exciting strategic plans with a view to generating new energy and attract foreign direct investment into the province. This is an opportune moment for the Northwest to redeem its legacy as a revered developmental hub. The ground is ready and ripe. Through the Northwest Housing Corporation and its initiatives, the province is now reclaiming its rightful place as a historical leader in the infrastructure development space. I am pleased to announce the following major groundbreaking projects. In the mining area, we call it the Mining Township Program. We'll have Mokwasa mixed housing to support the rapidly growing mining activities and the newly launched special economic zones of the Premier or the Northwest Provincial Government. The Rustenburg Smart City Project, the Marikana Mining Mega City Project, the Mokwasa Special Economic Zone, Mafikeng Special Economic Zone, the Madibeng Lanseria Smart City, as announced by the State President and the Premier, the Potchefstroom Smart City Mixed Housing Development. We are calling them smart cities because we appreciate that there's no post-COVID. We are in COVID and we need to live in COVID. And fourth industrial revolution. So we are expecting the people of the Northwest and other provinces to find a permanent home in the Northwest. We will be advertising in the next week for the appointment of developers. Remember, this is a public-private partnership where the government enable the private sector to develop golf estates and other developments. So Northwest, with no doubt, will be a construction site. We are looking forward that the media will also remain a strategic partner to help us disseminate development information. One, to communicate this positive message to the developers, and also to communicate to communities. We have seen how they are developing in Mafikeng, for an example, Musiane View and the Airport View, where there are no services. It's a sign that our people need infrastructure rollout, and we would like them to participate in this initiative. We have the support of the government, we have the support of the board of the Housing Corporation, and it is all systems go. Thank you.
Thank you very much, CEO. We'll then invite questions from the audience. Please identify yourself and the organization you represent. Where do I start? Yes, sir, you'll be number one. Any hand? In the absence of any other hand, can we get your question? Say.
It's the Wolazela from African Main newspaper. I have a lot of questions. I don't know if I would, because I was still jotting them down. However, let me get to them. What I would like to know from the CEO, what is the total amount of housing that is expected to be built from this project? My other question is that how is this project going? Should I remove the mask? Okay. Is it fine? The what? Oh, I should stand up. Okay. Yes, it's Tebo Lezeralo from African Main newspaper. My first question is that what is the total housing expected to be built from this project? How is this project going to empower the local communities? And will there be any participation of SMMEs in Mahikeng that will be participating within this project? As I've heard that the CEO just mentioned that in a week there would be appointment of service providers for this. And I wanted if the CEO would get into context, what does he actually mean when we talk about smart cities and a special economic zone? Because we would like to get a clarity on what does he mean when he talks about smart cities and a special economic zone. Furthermore, within the identified areas, I am more concerned is that what is it that we should expect from this particular project as mentioned by the CEO? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Tebogo. Any other question? Can you please respond, CEO?
Mr. Tebogo, thank you. We are expecting one development to bring us an estimate of about 15,000 houses. Or you did not hear me well. We are not going to appoint next week. Next week we are going to advertise publicly in the newspapers the competitive bidding process. As government, we have more burden and responsibility to implement black economic empowerment and local economic empowerment. We will have, as part of the contract, such clauses and black economic empowerment targets, because we are the government. And the other good thing about the Housing Corp is that it has got the abundance of land. So we should be able to use that as a leverage to make sure that while we need powerful funding in terms of foreign direct investment, we are also able to participate in the national initiatives that are there for infrastructure development. And the employment targets are reached. We are looking at this mixed development project as catalyst for socio-economic revitalization. You will have people employed, you have people who produce bricks being at work, really turning the province into a construction site. The private sector should be able to build malls. So it's a multiplicity of opportunities that are going to come out of this. When you look at Sun City, the area, there has not been development there, but we also don't want it to be flooded by squatter settlement because it's an international icon. But the mining communities have also not implemented their social labor plans. And we run the risk that these minerals are not permanent. So we need to move as a matter of urgency. Another thing, what is a smart city? It's really what makes us a third world. And we are so comfortable with being a third world. We need to become a first world. And one of the characteristics of first world, and we need also to build cities that are compliant to the fourth industrial revolution. I don't understand that we are in COVID now. We need to have powerful Wi-Fi, optic fiber, so that children, wherever they are, without having to go to highly populated areas for the risk of COVID, can study at the comfort of their homes. Those are smart cities with a reliable public transport system that with reliable or take building the standard of cities that are of global standard, so that we don't continue to perpetuate the horrible culture of a third world. The way we appreciate third world is that even when you have a farmer being black, farming with apple juice, he still sell the apples to Europe and go buy a blended juice of apple. We should be able to beneficiate that we have. We can't continue to subject ourselves to a colonization of a special type. This city must not be compared to a city in Pretoria. It must be compared to a city in China, in Russia, in the US. Yeah, we employ a lot of job creations. We don't want to speculate for the sake of malicious compliance. And deliberately, we are also not giving figures of how much we expect one city to cost, because we may be very low or very high. We must come back to you after we have run a rigorous test of supply chain to appoint strong and well-tested, of course, empowerment of joint venture partners that are black and in the province will be an added advantage. But we don't want to do a mockery of black economic empowerment, to appoint even people who don't have cars. And now you have to chase us. Why is the project not starting? So we are clear that the government cannot build golf estates. The government must provide an enabling environment. The government cannot build hotels, but it must provide land that is serviced. And those people who take their money to build lodges and hotels can then pay rent to the municipality and rate. So when you look at the revenue income capacity of the Mafikeng local municipality, it can't subsidize the entire 76 wards. We need to build a new city. It's clear that from Musiane View and Airport View, the people did not necessarily need RDP houses. They needed the serviced land. But if we are a serious government that speak land restitution, why do we want people to keep guessing whether this is a tribal land or it's not a tribal land? Because with their houses, now in Airport View and Musiane View, they've spent millions of rand, but they cannot participate in the economic landscape of the economy. So that's where we are saying. I think it's a solo one. Okay.
Thank you, CEO. Any hand? Yes, sir. Any other hand? Oh, are you coming again? Okay, you'll be the second. You'll be the third, sir. In that order.
My name is Obakem Maje from Town Daily News. I'm sorry I arrived late, but maybe the CEO has touched on what I'm about to ask. I see that according to the plan here, only well-developed areas are the ones that are going to be developed. Why I'm saying this, I see most of housing project will be implemented in Rustenburg and also Potch. So my question to the CEO is, what informed the decision of this multitude when you decided, okay, now we're going to develop Northwest, but we will focus only on the well-developed areas? That's my first question. And also, we know that there are some backlogs regarding some housing project in the Northwest. I'm not quite sure whether your department is working with the local development, local government department when coming to housing project. But my question is, we're having backlogs of some housing project in the Northwest, and the one that you can recall is the housing project at Lokopu. You still remember I once engaged you with that. You were part of the contractors that built the houses that side. Actually, that were supposed to build the houses that side, but they only left the incomplete foundations. You go across the province, you see the same. This time around, what is going to change to ensure that this project will see the light of the day? Because I see that you mentioned that the rollout will start on January 2021. But do you have the timeline that how long it will take and when will you complete the project? Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Maje. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I see. This is Bobby Sol, Mafiking Mail. Some of the questions have been asked. No, man, I must stand up. Am I in class now? I must stand up. I see most of the questions have been asked already by my previous my colleagues from other media sources. I just wanted to find out, how many hectares are you looking at here? How many hectares of land are you looking at in and how long will the project last? I heard the CEO saying that they cannot disclose the actual amount, but you can give us a guess. You can give us an estimate of what you're talking about when you say you would like to build all these projects. Yeah, for the moment I will stop there.
Thank you, sir. Tebogo.
My follow-up questions are coming from what the statement says. It says that Housing Corporation will be rendering financial and physical intervention. To my understand, I wanted to understand what kind of financial intervention will they be giving people, because Housing Corporation, as we speak, it's having houses and they are also currently rolling out title deeds. as well as they have another part whereby there are people who haven't received houses or who haven't been owners of particular certain housing within where they own housing. Is this financial rendering going to those particular people? My other question is that who has Housing Corporation partnered with? And talking about smart cities, are we expecting that the people who will be developed here, will they be paying bonds, or will they be getting free housing of your RDP, or will it be a better housing than a RDP? Because when we talk about smart cities, we must be talking about your proper infrastructure where you have street lights, you have tarred roads, you have water, you have a mechanism whereby the municipality or housing corporation, it's collecting revenue from the people who will be having those particular housing. The other one is that how is this project going to be rolled out when we find Mahikeng, it's a city surrounded by rural areas? And how is it going to be rolled out? How are they going to develop Mahikeng when it's surrounded by many villages that are not even getting proper assistance when coming to town planning when they are doing housing? The other one that I am more focused on is that the CEO has mentioned a city like China. Are we expecting tall scrapers within Mafikeng or Muhwasi or this mining setting housing that is spoken about? And as well as we would like to know, at least from the housing, we have 15,000 housing that it's expected to be built. But when we are talking about special economic zone, what is the kind of context? Is it malls or shopping complexes? Or just buildings whereby people will be just given a place to rent? Yeah, that's because I just want the CEO to give a clear indication on how the rural will be benefiting from this, and how will the people who are having even housing from Housing Corporation going to benefit. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Teboho. Any other question? CEO?
This is not my press conference. It's the press conference of the Northwest Housing Corporation. But now that I'm here, I must also educate. You see, the gentleman that's asking about the Khopum project, to be specific, I think is living in the past. It was not a project of the Northwest Housing Corporation, but I was a member of the Northwest Business Forum and a co-founder at the time. And my views about the corruption of the government at that time was not secret. But the government has been able to establish the kind of journalists and media houses that pursue the members or people who spoke against the government at that time. If, as a contractor, 10 years ago or 20 years ago, I did something wrong, an educated question cannot come to me. It must go to the government that appointed me at that time to say, what have you done with the public funds that were in your control and authority? I was not a government official at that time, and I would not account. The government have the legislative and the statutory requirements. For an example, I cannot, as the CEO now, pay Mmabatho Palms 2 million rand to hold this event, and you want to keep Mmabatho Palms accountable. Keep me accountable because I'm the accounting officer. So I'm saying that, and when we said that the government was corrupt in its dealings, we were vindicated. But people who were in authority at the time, when they unlawfully terminated our contracts, they were the ones that were supposed to ask them that you have paid Mogodiri 1 million rand extra. Why are you not opening a criminal case? Why are you not attaching his assets? Why are you not recouping? Now, those educated questions must go there, but when you come and derail this mega project that you could not ask the predecessors, why are you not doing something for the people of Northwest? You are living in the past. And with fair honesty, I would be willing to give you one-on-one so that we don't disrespect the invite that was made to the people here. And you must always pursue those that are accountable to be accountable to the latter. Now, the other thing is that we are here to launch a mega project that has never happened since 1994. And we are a learning organization. And the questions that you are asking, we are answering them not to win an argument or to come up smart. We are also noting them that they should inform us moving forward that we should not err on a hindsight. We should be able to see media as our partners and also appreciate the valuable criticism that you are able to give to us. We appreciate that. When you bring, this is not a mixed development, it's where the government participate in providing an enabling environment and its statutory role, like the bulk supply. The government or the housing corp will not go to the bank to say, give us 2 billion rand, we want to develop a mega project. The business people must take their risks to go to the bank, to go to their foreign investors, and risk investing in those projects. So, one of the things that we have said when we opened here was how did we determine the sites where there will be projects. Clearly there's a need that in the mining areas, the Marikana massacre was centered around lack of housing in 2012. What is the government doing about it? But the mines must also have an opportunity to contribute in terms of their subsidies. But we are not launching a huge RDP market. We must also show a compelling business case to the banks why they must be involved in terms of the buying power that is there, in terms of the economic potential that must be unlocked. Now you speak about Mafikeng town locked by villages. It's the only kind in the whole world, a town that is locked by villages. But you will realize that behind Unit 6, until the army, there's an open land there. It belongs to the state. When you get out of Mafikeng towards Zirast, there's an emerging squatter camp there. We cannot, look, it's clear. People want to be next to areas where there are job opportunities. People want to be next to areas where they are traveled to and from work. People want to be in areas where they are serviced. There are toilets, sewage, running water, and electricity. So we're not joining the bandwagon of building houses where there are no healthy sanitation, running water. So we want, and in all fairness, we can't get all developers to each put few billions in every town, because they must be guaranteed of their return on investment. We're not going to take the taxpayers' money and dump it in Lekhopung and build a mega project there, when we know that the majority of the people there rely on social grants. And if you've got teachers or police who should fit the gap market in terms of the flips, they are less than 30. Now, you cannot do that. We need to concentrate our effort. We do have partners in terms of the government. We can't do this alone as the Northwest Housing Corporation. We'll do it with the presidency. We'll do it with the Premier's office. We'll do it with the Provincial Department of Human Settlement. We will do it with ESCOM, so that we are able to coordinate the state capability. We'll do it with the municipality. It does not help that we come here and say to developers, build a 5-star hotel. And they say, but how do we build a hotel when the municipality will take 10 years to approve our rezoning? So Housing Corp have been able to see that role as a state-owned enterprise to participate and make sure that we coordinate the state capability. So you also have the Special Development Economic Zone. You will have factories coming, but the factories will say, we've got a problem. The employees want us to give them traveling allowances. You need to support it. Otherwise, you are creating an opportunity for illegal squatter settlements. When we say build it here, we will then be speaking as government to the Economic Development Department to say, hey, Madibeng Lansega Airport is kickstarting. Please bring that Gauteng casino license to Northwest, so that you don't subsidize an airport. No. The traveling that will be going on between Gauteng and overseas will necessitate that we open Mafikeng International Airport. Will necessitate that 4 times a day we have 4 lines going to Joburg or Lanseria or directly to Cape Town. It's when there's something happening in a community. So all this, I remember when I was a municipal manager here at some stage, I built a parking around the stadium. And that changed the rhetoric that these stadiums are white elephants. Instead, we began to see Kaizer Chiefs and Orlando Pirates and 2 teams from the continent coming here every year. And it was during that year that there was a need for, because megacity was too small, there was a need. There's the issues of land tenure. We also expect them to have economic opportunities there, to have subcontractor opportunities there, to also, whether they are in Makgoditsane, to also come and supply the project with bricks. We expect local people to approach the cement houses for partnerships, or to even start a new mining for cement. We are approaching it with a total open mind. It's not going to be the benefit of lazy people where the government pump money into this. So we are very serious about it. And the gentlemen of Lekhopung, we can have one-on-one. I think from Taung. Yeah, I remember there was a lot of rent journalists there. So thank you very much. Yeah, there was a question about the estimates. I have said that I don't prefer to give the values, because when you expect tendering, you expect also to have the benefit of the price, so that they don't say that we have fixed the price. Our estimation is that each project should be able to be launched at a minimum of estimate of 2 billion rand. So we expect the private sector to raise those billions. So colleagues, I'll be here the whole day. Any other question we can be able to take after this live press conference. But we see all of you as important partners to continuously keep us accountable to the public, because the owners of government, the ultimate owners of government is the people. And I'm sure we agree that something had to be done, and we are doing it. We have listened to the president, we have listened to the premier, and these areas are from list of gazetted areas. Very soon we will be also getting involved in social housing programs, so we can be able to take such opportunities there to communities where we could not touch them. But we could not build a mega city in every town, in every village. They must first be gazetted, they are gazetted. The president must prioritize them, they are prioritized. The Northwest Premier have prioritized them, they are prioritized. So it's not a pie in the sky, it's achievable. Management is busy with a procurement process, which will be advertised by next week. And I think it's important that those that will be developing, those that will be going to the banks, those that have got access to funding, are also conscientized of these opportunities that will only benefit the people of Northwest in general and those in the rural areas in particular. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, CEO. I believe there are no other questions. Let me thank you, CEO, for the nice presentation, and you also being the nice audience. And this brings us to the end of this session. Thank you very much.
Oh bawo, ndiyacela uyigcina impilo yami.